Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name's Gunner, but most of you probably know me as Sky or SkyTrekG over on Twitch. I just wanted to make this quick intro to thank you for checking out my video and to tell you sort of what it's going to be about. I've made a time lapse of one of my recent paintings of Robin Williams. I'll be talking while the time lapse plays and explaining my process for this painting. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. So when I started this painting, I really wanted to try and capture Robin's expression and the emotion that's in his face. I felt that using vibrant, warm colors would be the best way to achieve this. Started by blocking in color and dark values, and then moving on to working on the eyes, because it always just gives me motivation to keep going once the subject of the painting starts to look alive. And yeah. Then I moved on to the cheeks and the rest of the face, adding more and more color as I went. While working on the painting, I really enjoyed the challenge of trying to make the features of the face look realistic while still using somewhat abstract colors, I guess. The mouth was a little bit of a challenge, I guess. It was a struggle because I'd never painted an open mouth before. Trying to get the tongue to blend in and get the mouth to blend in how it was a bit of a challenge, but it was a lot of fun to work through. Once I added the background, I really dove into the painting and started working on the hair as well as getting more value built up in the dark areas in the face and stuff. But I chose to work from a black and white photo reference, as I do with most of my paintings, because it really helps me see the value without being distracted by natural color of the face, since I work with such abstract colors. I was somewhat hesitant to make certain areas too dark at first, but eventually decided to really try and develop the dark values in a lot of the face. Wasn't really sure how I was going to paint the shirt either at first. As you see, it was sort of a little dark, like the shirt's a little bit dark. But it was a tricky sort of pattern, so I wasn't really sure how I was going to do it. But I eventually decided to give it a go, and I'm really happy that I did it the way that I did. I think it complements the dark values in the face really nicely. And yeah, I was really happy with that. Overall, I really enjoyed this painting, and I plan to do more like this in the future. Yeah, cool. Now I just wanted to go over some of the tools and supplies that I use for this painting. The whole painting was painted with oil paint and only while using a palette knife. This technique is a lot of fun because you can get really interesting textures, and I found that I really enjoy that way, and the way that you can push the paint around and how the paint gets applied and all that. I've been using a palette knife for painting for about 1.5 years, and I've loved it ever since I started using it. I use Winsor & Newton brand Winton paint, and here is my go-to palette knife shape. The small diamond shape of the knife blade is really helpful because it has just enough like bend to it to push the paint around, as well as the nice sharp point to get into the small details if you need to. And it scrapes on the paint really nicely, like you can apply it pretty thick if you need to, or you can just scrape it off. My choice in paint is highly dependent on the texture and the price of each tube, just because I use so much paint when I use this technique, because it is very thick in the way that it's applied. I found that the Winton paint is a great mid-price range paint that keeps its volume and shape really, really nicely. I've really enjoyed that about it. I've tried other brands, but I just always end up coming back to this paint. It's done me good so far, and I plan to keep using it for a while. They have a good color selection, and it's not too expensive. So if you've ever been interested in this kind of painting or trying this kind of technique, I highly recommend it and highly encourage it for you to give it a try. If you have any questions about this kind of painting or anything else about the techniques that I use or anything like that, the paint, the knives, anything like that, feel free to leave it in the comments. I'd love to help you out. I stream all of my art live on Twitch TV almost every day, except for a few days here and there. So I encourage you to follow there and stop by sometime. I'd love to say hey and chat with you a little bit. But yeah, thank you so much for watching and for all of the support. Please be sure to like the video, and if you've enjoyed, please feel free to subscribe if you'd like to see any more videos like this. So yeah, thank you.